Hey guys, I think I'm up. Got an audio check, Twigs? Can you all hear me? Can you hear me, Roxy?
Yeah.
The audio's coming through? Yep. Okay. Hey everybody, I'm down here. You might need to turn your speakers down a nudge there, sweetie. I can hear them. Alrighty then. Woo! Yeah, hey, I'm up. I'm down here, guys. Welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons. Looks like we got 31 lumpy heads already hanging out. So, just wanted to do a casual kind of setup, not a bunch of scheduling and exactly when I'm going to start, when I'm going to quit. We're all grown-ups here. Especially you up there, man. You're way up there. You're probably wondering, what the hell is going on? Why are you way the hell up there? Well, we're going to get to that in just a second. First things first, right? Hey! We're having a little bit of Sky River Blackberry Honey Wine tonight. Because, fuck yeah. And hopefully everything will remain copacetic throughout the stream. Greetings, programs. Welcome back. I'm going to be adjusting things a little bit. I got my eyes on the stream right here. I can type. Look, I can type. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to be seeing all your questions and all your comments coming through as often as I can peek up at the monitor here. But I just wanted to get the stream started so I could just relax and enjoy myself a little bit. The theme of tonight, besides just wanting to just kick it, oh, wait a minute. People are saying they're not seeing it. I seem to be having good stream health. I'm not sure what's wrong for you guys. Hey, Cyrus, what's up? Empty the garbage can. Oh, don't look at my garbage can, bro. That's not cool. I'm up to shit, man. I got priorities. Look, both garbage cans are full. Here's to you guys. Skål. All right, so as long as Black Magic can see my full garbage can, I'm going to assume the stream is okay. I'm going to move this table over here, and we're going to get to this. We're going to get to the topic tonight, and I probably need to adjust my camera angle a little bit to get it just right. But I wanted this top down so you can see what I'm working on. All righty, I don't want you looking at this, Pilly Pal. It's just weird, man. Never look at another man's trash. There's a lot of personal stuff going on in a man's garbage can. Body parts, spare monkey fingers. You guys thought you were gonna tune in and get some D&D. Instead, you got me moving furniture. But as Cyrus Draken often reminds me, I do what I want. Alright, let's see if we can get this in position. Yada do 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 do. Alright, the stream is a couple seconds behind reality, so I gotta wait just a second here. Let everything come into focus. And get a couple of items from over here. All right, we'll just get a few things here. Let's get an adventuring party together. Actually, we don't need Yukon Pete. We're gonna stick with our old favorites, the Rangers of Numidia. Are at it again. Okay. Alright, how's that doing? How's everybody doing? We got 54 of you crazy people in here. I don't know what you're thinking. You must be out your minds. Bunch of kooky ass, weird, forehand having Goro mofos. Alright, I'm trying to get lined up here where we can see, hey, ground beef, what's up, dude? I'll raise a glass to you, my brethren. Right there it is. Oh, so much honey, so much fruit. Absolutely delicious. All right, if you're wondering what this big boring lag is I'm just trying to get this rectangle lined up to my camera rectangle in a way that pleases me, and I have to wait there's about a 10-second lag here that I have to deal with. So if that is crooked and that is not happy, I think that this will probably work better. Como se dice, amigo, like something like that. And then we got one piece of scatter here. 3D scatter, I might add. All right, 57 people. Hey, man, yeah, Joshua Saramsak, what's up, dude? Good luck with the Runestone campaign. That sounds really cool. As usual, my obligatory statement at the opening of every stream and every video I do, for crying out loud, is to tout the countless awesome things happening around me. Everybody's been hitting me up as usual on Facebook with all their personal campaign stories. And oh my goodness, there's so much great stuff going on in our little community here. It's so cute. Makes a father proud. All right, I'm still adjusting. Oh, Matthias, dude, do not encourage me with the Spanish stuff. I'm so bad. I butcher that poor language. Because I'm El Baracho. All right. We got these little guys here. So I'm still trying to get this damn camera fixed. There we go. There. All right, we'll do that. We'll get that there. Right there. All right. Oh, hey. Hey, how you doing? You look good. All right. So then we'll go right about there. Ought to be pretty good. One cool thing about this little Microsoft Life Cam, it weighs just about nothing. So you can just really perch it on a teeny little tripod and get pretty good results. I mean, as far as these could be considered good results. I am awful at things. All right. How about that? So I'm going to wait a few seconds, and I got a feeling the dados are going to start rolling, and I need a few dados right now. Let me get a few dados hooked up. And we'll get the Big Daddy D4, and this is some kind of... My actual dice are in my pack, so I'll just let that be. There we go. Give me a 6 spot. Where's the 6 spot at? I want a good one. I want a cool one. There we go. Old school. All right. Hey, that's a pretty good view, right? Nice. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. It's real cool. Okay. Trust me, I'm here. You're just going to have to believe that I'm here. I do have the mic over on my side, so it should be sounding pretty good, except for, sound bouncing off the barren room that lies beyond, filled with stuffed trash cans. I spliced, definitely. There's going to be a great moment in your campaign when you reveal that that's who they're working for. But remember, reveals are never as cool as you think they are going to be on paper. It's more about what happens in the moment than the big reveal. Okay. Woo! Here's a little piece of... Everybody see everything? Here's a visual check right here. I'm going to highlight one square. Can everybody see that? Okay, that's exactly what I'm about to get to. Stephen Dorossi. Or Stephen Dorussi. However you pronounce that. Okay, waiting for this single square check. Can you see where I'm drawing out a single square? That's what I want to know. Look at this beautiful, beautiful grid map. Oh, it's like a canvas of dreams. It's a canvas of dreams. Have you ever seen a canvas of dreams? Oh. All right. The one thing I don't like is they got some glare going right here. And I don't think there's any way to avoid that. Okay, hey, Andrew McFarland, welcome to the stream. We got the big old 6'9" in the room right here, Daniel Chadris Septilian. Then we got We 37 and all these peeps. Christ Gopher, more like. Lester Witherspoon, Joshua Sarmsakis up in the place. Ice Spliced, of course. Where's Bungwires at? All right. So I think visibility is pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm right here. I'm going to quit looking at the dang stream. Okay, the glare is bugging you too, huh? How can I combat glare without fucking up my whole setup? I don't know. So let's do a little test in the glare. So the glare is right here, right? Let's see if... Can you see that square being drawn in right there in the glare? Eric H. Welcome to the stream, my brother. Bung Wires is in the spot. Okay, great. So how are we doing on the glare square? It's more glare than ever before on that square. So what the hell are we doing is what you guys are wondering. Okay, Al Polo Dean says it's not a big deal. All right, not an issue. Fantastic. We're going to pull that test. Okay, so if you guys can hear me and if you can see everything, then, whoa, what just happened? Did I just get mini camera? Did my picture just shrink? Okay. Or did it go to a square? Okay. Do I still have full image there, Rox? No. Okay, every time's the first time, guys, so just hang on a second. How's that?
There's a bit of a lag.
Okay. Hang on, guys. Just hold on to your horses. I think it like down-resed me for what?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, for our crap connection. Okay. That should be a little better here in a few seconds, guys. It should come back up to more of a full screen. I think, welcome to the internet where the internet is bad all the time. We're supposed to be in the future, but like residential internet is crap. Especially once you start getting used to pro internet, like in office buildings. It's so good, and then you come home and like you can barely stream your damn dry erase board. I mean, look at that low-res garbage. Anyway, yeah, sorry about the low-res there. Hey, you guys want me to keep mucking with it here? Let me see if I can keep mucking with it. Yeah, I think that might be what we're stuck with to keep the stream flowing smooth, guys. So, fuck it. I'm going to move on with life. I think it's probably low res and everything, but I don't care anymore because I have got this dungeon in my brain, and my brain's going to explode if I don't get it out, and I don't want to explode. Exploding's not good. So we're going to start right over here. And we're going to keep it nice and narrow. Okay. Now, a lot of my streams, you guys know me, I talk through the whole damn thing, right? That's just kind of my way. This one's going to be a little bit different because I got a mission on my mind. And so, on the one hand, we do have, a class to think about, right? I always like to think about things like, I'm here to improve. I want to be more. I am an ambitious aspirant. Oh. There are going to be dinosaurs, DMG info, and it's an honor to have you, sir. The light must be ripping around the world at staggering speeds to reach you all the way there on the other side of the earth, and that is inspiring and exciting to me. All in the name of D&D. One awesome message I got recently was these guys in Siberia watching my videos and playing D&D. How cool is that, man? Booyah. All right. So tonight is just about kicking it on one side, and on the other side, what I would like to call the Dry Erase Masterclass. So in my new campaign, where I'm just a good blue-collared player like everybody else, my DM is going with the dry erase method on a battle mat or a grid mat like this one. And it is fantastic. Scotty, good to have you here. Alex Aranda, good to have you, dude. T. Crew. No, wait, T. Drew. T. Crew is kind of cool, too. Megan Moo, what up? Of course, Nelms is in the place. Andrew McFarland. So anyways, we're playing on a dry erase battle mat with my new DM. And he's doing a great job. It's really fun. We're doing a sort of a gnoll theme, like gnolls are new to our world, and it's right out of Volos and stuff, so we're playing the new hotness. It's really fun. It's great to be a player again. It's real simple, and you just get to focus on who am I, and it's great. It's really fun. And seeing how much I liked the feeling of being on that dry erase board, I was just like, yo, I need to get my hands on some markers and just draw, you know? Partially to have a good time, and just draw, partially to also think about what if I were to run a game with a dry erase style, which is, you know, if you guys go way back to 2 years ago to the very beginning of the channel, the first things we did, like Moloch, were in dry erase rooms, and it was really cool. So, naturally, I hit up Roll for Initiative, who is an awesome site where you should go buy all their things, and got some markers and a nice battle mat, super cheap. And you can carry this thing anywhere, roll it up. Like this is the old school super roots way to play D&D because it's so portable, it's so simple, it's so dynamic. As a DM, I mean, you can change direction anytime, you can invent things, it's fantastic. You can also have pre-planned things. It's a great tool. We all know that. So what is the Dry Erase Masterclass? I just wanted to give you guys a few basic drawing tips while I work my way through this dungeon that I think will help up your dry erase game. Now, the first thing I see DMs doing that they don't need to do when they are busting out their dry erase map is, you guys know about this, arbitrary geometry. That means geometry that is an amount of detail that you actually don't really need, like a bunch of zigzagging walls or little islands of blockage. So we're going to get into that principle first, and then we're going to get into some of the drawing techniques. So what is my dungeon here? I'm going to continue the Machines of Moloch campaign. So this is going to be part 4 of the Machines of Moloch, and this is going to be the Tombs of Moloch. So we have, you know what? Actually, fuck it. Let's go with Rangers of Numidia all the way. Fuck Moloch. When we last left the Rangers of Numidia, I think they were on Module 4 or so, and they were about to head down into the swamps. And I believe they were called the Swamps of Croaking Death. And they were going to go try to find Garrett Frack and kill him before he rose an army of the undead. If you guys go back and follow the Campaign Encounters series. Right? So, fucking A. Let's just do that. The Rangers of Numidia continue their adventure. They work their way through the Swamps of Croaking Death, eventually entering a series of rocky outcrops that conclude and pinch into a small entrance to some kind of subterranean lair. From this lair, the sound of croaking and ghouls moaning and the distant bang of drums in dark ritual echo in the murk. They decide to enter. Immediately they find a vestibule within with 4 rough-hewn stone pillars and an iron-banded wooden door that has rotted from being in the swamp. Helm steps forward. The door is not only unlocked, it can barely stay closed. The thing is so dilapidated. He pushes it open, and we reveal our first room. Here's another one of the joys of dry erase, is you get true fog of war. So these guys never got to see this room until I revealed it. Okay? And we will call this room the mossy vestibule. Okay, so this is what I mean by non-arbitrary geometry. Right here, really what I got is a rectangular room. I don't really need a bunch of like weird little grottos and extensions and narrow spots and everything. I just want to bring them into the first space and start this thing moving, right? So even though my line may be a little bit irregular, I've just given them a nice little rectangle for them to understand. Okay, now we're going to start carrying that forward as we go, and you'll see what I mean. So that when we start adding things besides rectangles, the characters are going to see the importance and the oh shitness. Okay, now here is where the Dry Erase Masterclass really comes into play. Every time you draw lines, take the extra moment to follow my drawing principle you guys know all too well. just draw the same lines again. And let your hand be sloppy. You're not trying to draw the same line again. You're just drawing the same shape again with some error and then fill in the gap. And boom! You instantly get this fantastic, heavy, like sort of almost artsy looking line that is really fun and clear and easy to read, okay? So that is like principle 1 of Dry Erase Masterclass. Always use really strong markers. And if you're using a chisel marker, always use the big side of the chisel and get these bold lines. These bold lines are going to make the space feel solid, and it's not going to make you feel like, oh man, we're just kind of playing on a marker drawing. It feels much more like whoa, this is kind of a cool map. All right, if you want a few bonus points, always just go in on parts of your drawing. It doesn't matter what, and just add some lines like you know what you're doing. Right? You don't have to know what you're doing. Look, there's just some lines there. I don't know what they are. Are they grass? Are they slope? Are they shading? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But they help you see this sense of a barrier and a space. Helm pushes the door open and steps inside. It's dark in here. There's no torchlight. He rolls perception. With his modification, he's got a 15. At that moment, I reveal you made it because, guys, this is a DC 15 room. Now, this is one great thing about Dry Erase, too, is I don't need my little popsicle sticks and all that other stuff. I can write it down, and that this board and this dungeon are going to evolve as we go right here on the table. And that's what's so fun about Dry Erase, especially if you just take that extra little bit of time to kind of dork out on it and get into it. As he comes in, making the perception check by exactly the target, he notices that the room is actually bisected. Again, no arbitrary geometry here. This is a rectangle that I just drew. And then draw it again. Fill in the little gaps where you missed, and it looks like you meant to do this. It's what artists call line weight, but you don't know that. You're just some dude. Check it out. Ooh, or dudette, or gal. I suppose you could be a gal. Everybody loves a good fun gal. All right, so the room is bisected by murky water, and you just need a couple little green bits. This is green, grody water. Bisecting the room. Still Helm's turn. He steps forward and examines it, but he's kind of done and out of time. Seems like the room is safe. And now, thanks to Helm, is open. Right? So Stills hops in, notices the water, does his perception check. Same thing, DC 15, gets a natural 13, totally makes the roll. He sees there is movement. Creepy movement under the water. It looks like arms and hands. And yes, T. Drew, the room DC is for everyone to know. And the reason I do that is because everybody knows what they're rolling against. It's just like, it's like being in Vegas. You want to know just like, what am I shooting for? What am I trying to get? And it makes your rolling a lot more exciting, and it makes the outcomes seem very crisp. Because you don't think, did the DM just fudge that? No, you know you're trying to hit a 15, and by golly, pow, I hit the 15. Yes, give me the details. So he looks into the water, and he sees all these arms and hands under the surface moving around. And he's like, hey, Helm, I don't think this is very good. This is a bad situation. That's the end of his turn. He waits. In comes Zymer, steps into the room, does the same thing, but he's like, I've heard of a strange phenomenon of disembodied grabbing arms trapped in a tarn of this kind. Can I make a history check? And I'm like, sure, Zymer, go ahead. Ooh, only a 5. And he's like, nah, I actually think that was a movie I saw. That wasn't actual data. I'm drinking some blackberry mead tonight, Groob. So, they really don't have any more information. And I'm not going to let players continually make the same checks. Like, I roll perception again. Like, what are you going to do? Squint harder? No. This is all you can figure out because of the darkness, because you're a little bit scared, the limitations of the room. That's about all the data you can gather. What are you going to do? Turns out it's Foxy's turn. Foxy just comes running around and says, like, what are all you dummies doing? I'm going to jump right across. Woo! By this time, Foxy's about level 3. And Foxy is a player character, remember. So, Oh, the drinking trigger word is trope. Oh, no! So anyways, Foxy just goes for it, jumps right over the water. Now normally, just making a little 2-square jump like that would be really easy for Foxy, but she has got to make this save with Dex on 15. Her bonus is 3. Oh, 18. So she jumps across, totally makes the move, nimble as a fox, get it? But as she jumps across, all these hands reach up out of the water and try to grab her little fox feet. But since she's so fast and quick, she comes skittering across to the other side and makes it and looks back at her companions. Now for her companions, this is a 10-foot jump. I don't know if when you guys were kids, you ever jumped the ditch down by your house, like down by the abandoned construction site. But jumping a 10-foot ditch is not easy. I mean, it is not easy at all. So each one of these guys is going to have to make a dex check at disadvantage to jump this sucker unless they come up with something. Now, it's Helm's turn. He's got a pretty good dex. He just goes for it. Boom. Disadvantage, he's got a nat 1. So anytime I get a nat 1, I ask for another roll. If it's a 1, it's a super blunder. Otherwise, it's just a fail. Okay, no super blunder, but he does fail, and he gets pulled into the water. Oh my God, he takes 2d6 damage right off the bat. They're pulling at him, shredding his armor apart. No, I'm in the gross water. We're in the first room, and I've already taken 9 damage. I'm so dumb. Oh my God. So Stills throws him a rope with his turn. Instead of jumping, I'm going to help you, dude. I got to drag you out of there. Ah! So Stills now, strength check to pull him out of the murky water. Totally fails. The whole situation is locked up. Zymer's like, you guys, seriously, I'm not going to use a spell in the first damn room. This is ridiculous. You can just get out of there on your next turn. I'm going to try to make this jump even though I'm old. Boom. Oh, wait, sorry. Even though I'm old. Okay, so disadvantage. Ooh, he's got a 19 and he makes it. Even with disadvantage, old man Zymer managed to hop across. He's just like, you're so dumb, Helm. Even me, being old, I managed to jump across. Okay, Foxy is more worried. Comes over here, bites onto Helm's cloak, tries to drag him up and out. She's tiny, though, so disadvantage on the strength check to get him out. Doesn't roll good enough. Misses it. Helm's turn. Hoo-doo-doo. Okay, Stills eventually makes the roll, and we're across the first threat. There you go. Now, this is great because that was our very first welcome to the Swamp of Croaking Death. Was like a nice little thing. Helm always screws up. It's just his character. And they took a little damage and they had to work together, but they kind of didn't want to pull out all the crazy stuff. No levitation, no grapple gun or something. God knows. At level 4, who knows what kind of antics they may have going on. They got some spells and stuff, and we'll kind of leave that to the players. Remember, I'm always thinking DM. So players have all kinds of tricks up their sleeve, but I'm not really thinking that way quite yet. Next up, we have this. Now, this is where we're going to get into the value of not doing arbitrary geometry. We have, look what I just drew. It's another rectangle. And you're like, Hankerin, dude, your imagination is so crappy. Where's like a big old exciting shapes and stuff? You're just doing these little herpaderps. Like, you guys, no, don't worry. It's going to matter here in just a second. Okay. So see, I just drew the line. I drew it again. And I filled in the little gaps where my hand made an error. And it looks like I planned some kind of cool line work. So I'm going to keep these guys in initiative. They move up. Somebody makes a perception check. Let's speed time up a little bit. Now, they're used to just seeing little rectangles, right? Well, here's where it's going to get interesting. So right off the bat, as they see me drawing this, they're kind of like, what the fuck? This one's not just a rectangle. Okay, so there's my first drawing. Second drawing, just draw the exact same line again. Just let your hand be sloppy. Then fill in your little margin of error because you're going to make little errors. And it looks like you mean to do this, like it's some kind of shading technique. It totally isn't. It just gives lines a bold presence that makes it seem like you know what you're doing. Okay, here we go. Nice. So, they come around this corner, somebody makes a perception check, maybe it Stills is in the lead right now, and he sees this strange room with these sort of zigzag-shaped floor and these large masses of stone protruding from the walls in alternating fashion, just like we see right here. At the far end of this room, he does see a torch. So let me grab a torch. Hang on a sec. Working up some heat. Getting excited about D&D. Okay. So, they see this zigzag chamber broken by these strange protrusions from the side of the wall. And that's going to be Still's turn. Now this time, Zymer's coming up a little bit behind him and he says, I want to make one hell of a perception check. I'll use the eye of true sight. So he's rolling with advantage. And as he does so, we reveal this is DC 16. It's dark in here, and the walls are cut in such a fashion that it's actually quite difficult to see down through the zigzag. Even with advantage, he sucks. Helm comes up, crowds in a little bit, tries the same thing, makes the check, and eventually realizes like, oh, it looks like there are several webbed footprints that go through this room, but they're zigzagging through the room in a very strange fashion. Maybe we should just try following those footprints through there. And Stills is like, great idea. So it runs out, goes like this, and we reveal the footprints to him. So the footprints go like this. Right? Webbed footprints in the mud. Okay? So Stills, not being, the type to really hang around and do that much research, just wants to go running in there, and he figures, yeah, this is where the local denizens have been going through here avoiding whatever the hell this is. So he goes in right here, and as he steps into this 2 square space right here, the floor collapses on him. Sure enough, whatever it was that made them take that route, the people leaving this footprints, there you go. So now I just get to draw a pit right into here. Stills gets a chance to save it with a dex check on a 16, rolls a nat 1, roll for a blunder. Nope, he's all good, so he falls down, takes a 2d6 of falling damage. Oh, and that's the first damage for Stills. He's in a pit. Hey guys, help! I fell in a freaking pit. Okay, they eventually start making their way through. Now, here is the trick of the room. Anytime, and we'll just, boop, fast forward, okay? I just want to explain the room to you guys. Anytime you're in one of the grottos, like this, you've got a collapsing floor trap. These are total Bigfoot footprints, man. They had like a stick with a frog foot on the end, and they used it to make footprints to lead you into the falling pit. Okay? So we've got 4 pits, each one 2d6. But I'll tell you what, this is more diabolical than that. That's just the beginning. If you do not step on the collapsing floors, everywhere there's one of these outcrops. And this is what's great. I would be revealing this to the players just like I'm revealing it to you guys. A perception check or closer inspection notices a slot in this rocky protrusion. And from that slot, a spinning blade comes firing out. If you step right here, make a dex check to avoid it as it pops out. Otherwise, take like 1d8 slashing, right? So now it becomes a challenge of you have to jump over these like this. And this is how the local denizens have been getting through the room. They leapfrog through. No pun. Well, I guess the pun is intended. They go boing, boing. It's not something you would intuit right away, but very easy to solve. Very easy to go back if they choose. Very easy to avoid the problem. So they follow the torchlight down at the end of the corridor here. And we find our way into our next room. And now we're getting a little bit of like trap and perception fatigue. I mean, I know you guys are feeling it. I'm feeling it. So I'm going to give them... And I kind of have this dungeon in my brain. But honestly, I'm kind of just inventing a dungeon. Which is the joy of dry erase, right? If I was crafting this or setting up a game board, I kind of have to do a lot of that ahead of time, which can lead to a superior design a lot of times, but it it's not as, wild and crazy and fun. And I really wanted to just show you guys, like, if you put the effort into map creation with your dry erase marker, you don't have to demote the dry erase into being a bummer of an artistic tool. It can really be an exciting tool. As they enter this next room, there is an air of fear and horror and a cold chill in the air that is not natural. And because of this, it is very hard to garner the courage to even walk into the room, and we're looking at a DC 18. Now, just like earlier, when T. Drew asked, you just tell your players your DC just right up like that? Yeah, and sometimes it's the first thing I tell them, and I don't even tell their characters. I just tell them. It's just like, you guys, hey, we're staring down a DC 18. And it's a good way to say, okay, focus. Don't get killed right here. As they enter, they see movement in the dark. And let me grab some movement. What do we got here? I love these guys. You get a couple of these guys and this little guy. Okay. There's something moving in the dark. Stills happens to be in the lead. I have no idea why Helm is in the back. He's the fighter. Because he's a terrible fighter, I suppose. But the limited amount of torchlight that they do have sprinkles enough flickery light into this wet cave that even without a perception check, at the far end of the room, you can see this cavern entrance. And it looks not like a cave, like a tunnel, like a person would go into, more like a burrow hole. Like you'd have to slither into this thing. And it is caked in slime and grotesque filth, and not a place that a person would ever go. In front of this opening in the wall, there are 3 sahagin, but they aren't really just sahagin. There's almost no flesh left on them. They're basically fishman skeletons with spears. And they're emitting this unnatural cold, and they are undead sahagin. So, if you guys remember about Garrett Frack, he was experimenting with new ways to amplify and summon sahagin in great numbers to build his army. So, I'm sure these players remember that. If they didn't, I wouldn't care. I would just openly tell them, and boom, let's get an initiative roll. Cha-chow! Right? Hey, whoa, man, Stills is on top again because he's a goblin rogue. He always wins initiative, except when Foxy does, and that's cool too. Not a doge. That is correct. So, the battle is joined. And then here we have our first battle. There's not a lot of mechanical use to this battle or speciality. Going in will reveal there is an exit door here, rotted wood with banded iron, and locked. They come in, they do some battle, Still sneaks up on this guy and cuts his throat. Great job, dude. Comes in here, magic missile, pew, pew, pew. Oh, I'm not quite dead yet because I'm the big guy. Here comes Helm. Fight me, bastards. He tanks both of them. Foxy's sniffing around like, guys, I got a strange feeling about things right now. And then from the gorge or the hole in the rock, another one of these things kind of tumbles out or sort of slides out. Oh, it's gross. So they kill another one over here, but another one comes out of the door. They're fighting. This one comes over, he dies, but then another one slithers out of the hole. Now, you guys know how I love spawners. And so, here you go. The battle is joined. They keep killing them, but they keep spawning. They need to figure out, we have got to plug the hole. So, eventually they do. Zymer comes over. He finds a big stick and levers some boulders. Manages to crumble this hole. Now, get your eraser. And this is for me anyway, this is a reward to a player to see that they have altered the dungeon map. So I'm going to add these little boulders here. Exact same dry erase masterclass technique. My boulders are just little blobs that I draw twice, and then I fill in the errors where the 2 lines didn't meet. There you go. Boop, 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 boop. These are pebbles. Pebbles are dots. Pebbles are dots. Okay. They eventually kill their way through all these guys. Use up some potions, lose some hit points, use some resources, whatever. But hey, we got a little victory under our hands. And begin moving again. Now, A classic thing players are going to ask is, can we rest right now? And you guys know me. I don't believe in the word rest. I believe in the word safety. So you need to have safety for 8 hours, not rest for 8 hours, to get the benefits of rest. And there is no safety when you are in the nasty, slime-covered, undead sahagin lair of the Swamp of Croaking Death. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Okay, DM, well, you're an asshole. You just want your final encounter to be really hard. Okay, well, whatever. I know I'm right on the edge of frame, and that's okay, but, you know, you're going to have to live with life. Okay, so next we have a classic, all-time classic of D&D. You guys have all probably dealt with the pain of this encounter. This is a very DMG style encounter. This frickin' thing. The narrow chute. What are these little teeth, you say? Now here's a good time when you don't need to draw the entire line in double. You don't need all that weight, because the narrowness and the lightness of the corridor is its magic. Okay, so they managed to either pick the lock on the door, find a key on one of the dead enemies, or whatever fits your adventure, whatever you're doing, it's all good. Helm is like, you guys, seriously, let's put the fighter first. So he starts walking up. He's like, hey, wait a minute, maybe we should take that torch with us. That would probably be pretty smart. So he's walking with the torch, goes up. Thanks to him having the torch, I'll give him advantage. But this whole narrow corridor, we're going to go back to DC 16. So that's going to feel like a little bit of a relief to the characters. Thanks to the torch, he's got advantage on perception. Rolls perception, notices these jagged pieces of stone and steel all embedded in the walls of this narrow little chute, like in a very raw and primitive fashion. Like, dang, these buggers are so gross. And then sure enough, coming around the corner, another undead sahagin, and now we're in like straight up dungeon crawl mode. And oh, don't you hate when this happens? Everybody's all bunched up. Helm is like, don't worry, I'm going to go get these guys myself. As he tries to walk past the jagged shapes, fuck, it's too tight. Damage. He's going to take damage. The damage is only 1 point. Anytime you move through the spikes, which there's 3 little groups of spikes, you're going to take 1 point of damage, but you got a con save because they're covered in frog juice. Covered in frog juice, yeah. Just like an egg sack on a kelp frond, this sucker is covered in frog juice. He fails it, and he's going to take 1d6 per round from the frog juice poison until he makes that con save. And so will everybody who comes through here. So I just got a stupid little poison trap. I'm bunching everybody up. How do I even shoot an arrow through this? This is a mess. Let's throw Foxy. Let me throw Foxy over there. Oh shit, Foxy got poisoned. Kill the guy. This guy dies. 2 more easy kills, but I'm just wearing him down a little bit. And, fuck, I hit the damn spikes again, even though I have my nice torch and I can see. Zymer's like, I'm too old, it's very brutal. They make it up to there. Okay, great trope of D&D, here's to you guys, is one of these long, narrow passages that bunches you up and causes crowding. Okay? So, we're just moving on ahead. Now, at this point, as the DM, you should be feeling this sensation of like, I need something to kind of jog this sucker. You know what I mean? Something to jog the tone. It needs to get a little bit crazy up and how, if you know what I mean. So, what I'm going to do, and again, this is where keeping your geometry really simple was going to work for you. When you change it up to a shape like this, they're going to take notice. So sometimes if you do too many interesting shapes in your dungeons, your players won't really sort of jump up and take notice. They just start getting used to all these sort of odd little details and shapes, right? But this way, they're like, oh fuck, what kind of room is this? Good grief, no. Okay, so now I'm going to get a little prop here. And this is another, oh, it's right here, that's right. I prepared ahead of time. Boop, there we go. 1 piece of effing 3D scatter. And by the way, here's a fun side fact for you guys. This little piece is one of the very first pieces that I ever made. about, I don't know, fucking 20 months ago. And it's literally the most used piece of terrain that I have. That I use this more than anything. I don't know why. It just has a good square base. The scale is fun. It feels right. It doesn't block view. It's easy. It's stable. There's just something great about just a simple, nice little rock. So anyways, there it is in the middle of the room. There's this strange rock. Okay. In they come through another door, which can either be unlocked with a sahagin key or can be picked or kicked in or whatever. Helm comes in with his awesome torch. Entering this room, they feel this sense of dread coming from this rock. And the minute they enter, I say, roll for initiative. So they all roll, me included as the DM, I roll initiative. Let's say this time Zymer wins it. And at that second, throw down my timer. Ooh, lucky for them, got a 4 on the timer. So they know this is probably a little more substantive room because, I've opened my hand a little bit as the DM. I just went ahead and rolled the timer. They don't even know what the fuck I'm rolling. I don't care. Now, what's going on in here? Let me see if I have something laying around that we can throw in here. Here we go. The Yuan Tea. So basically, since we're in the swamp of croaking death, I'm just going to go through my usual litany of, serpent and frog beasts. And we're just going to enjoy it. Fuck it. So, as they roll initiative, me rolling initiative, I roll for the Yuan Tea, the Scimitar Guardian. He emerges from the shadows at the far side of the room. And here's our first chance to sort of do a little bit of what we might call role play. Right? So for my Yuan Tea, I say, go back to the land of the living. Death awaits you here. We will feed on your brains. And in his turn, since he has initiative, Zymer steps forward one bit. And since the Yuan Tea seems to be speaking common, he pulls out his book, looks up a picture of a Yuan Tea, scrolls down a little bit. He's like, scimitar fighters and often use a sort of a phylactery type magic to attune themselves to a powerful stone. That must be this stone here. As he's studying this book, he finally responds to the Yuan Tea. We mean you no harm, devil. We've only come to parley with your master, Garrett Frack. You mean nothing to us. You're the one who must step aside. Like, whoa, these are big words for someone who's so old. Actually, that's our new drinking word, guys. Fuck trope. If I say old, you gotta drink. I'm just doing my due dilly on the line work here. So you see, like here, I felt like it was needed to do all these nice fat lines because this room feels big and feels important. And then there's some little ripples and cracks and pebbles around the stone. Like that. Just keeps the ride going, but keeps everybody groovy. In this room also, there are 3 piles of gore and blood. With like an arm sticking out of one, a leg right here. Here's one with a little head sitting in a puddle. You've all seen it. You're the one who should step aside, and the Yuan Tea is like, if my kind were capable of laughter, I would laugh at you. But instead, I'll settle for your head. So we have, say, one more player that has to go before it's my turn. Stills isn't quite sure what the fuck to do here. Comes to the Yuan Tea. He doesn't hesitate, but he steps back, out of line of sight, behind the big stone, and casts mage armor on himself. Raising his armor class by 4. They don't know his armor class yet because they haven't attacked him. And it begins. We're doing some combat. So this is a great big battle. This is awesome. I'm not going to take a normal Yuan Tea out of the book, but before the session, I definitely want to know my Yuan Tea. This is a Yuan Tea scimitar fighter who's also a caster. It's going to be great. But he also has a special spell called the Gaze of Frack. Basically, everything in front of him, he looks and he goes full cockatrice on that shit, using Petrify. Now, the first time that I use Petrify is going to be run by my timer. So I'm going to work my way down, per turn. I get to 0. Then the Yuan Ti goes, wah, does Petrify in a cone. Super deadly. Great way to wipe a frickin' party right there. Then, after that, I'm going to roll the timer again. Oh, I got a 1. When that timer is up, which the Yuan Ti's next turn, he gets to use the Gaze of Frack again. So this is why this timer is so clutch. And the timer gives the players a cue of when to hide. And that's why this rock is here. So they go, oh shit, he's going to do it again. Boop, boop, after the Yuan Ti's turn. Then it's Yuan Ti's turn. He breathes, just like Clash of Titans. And doesn't breathe, he uses the eyes. Boo, right? Hankerin, what level is the party by this point? The party is like between 3rd and 5th level right now. So then, oh shit, okay, well, let's do some more damage. Whoa, we're in a sword fight. Spell, fireball, boom, what the fuck? Oh man, we're really desperate. Go over here. It's a giant stone tablet blocking the path. How the hell do we open this thing? It seems to have carvings on it that match the big stone in the middle, but what the hell does that mean? I don't know, we're gonna die. Quit looking at the stupid door. Okay, holy shit. Maybe there's, I don't know, what's this blood stain all about? We gotta have something. Looks at the blood stain. He finds, I don't know, let's do something fun. He finds an arrow of slaying, right? Well, shit, I'm going to try that. Woo! Fires the arrow of slaying. The Yuan Ti has to save against disintegration or even a death spell, something awesome. Misses the save. Rolled a 6 there, by the way. So still fires this arrow he found in this liquefied corpse. Disintegrates and kills the Yuan Ti, and the arrow pierces right through him and shatters against the wall and is destroyed. That's what you call a treat. We had a timer, we had a treat, and a threat all in that room. So this was a classic room design. Everything else was just kind of a lead up to that room design, right? We had line of sight. We never wrote it down, but I think we'll just keep it at DC 16. We had line of sight. We had a great enemy. We have a weird mystery that if you really wanted to solve the door mystery, you could. We had a treat hidden away, which is an arrow of slaying, but usually you don't go after it first. Oh, yes. How do you open the door? Ooh, they start kind of whacking at the stone and the door trembles. Sure enough, you start beating the stone, crumbling pieces of it off, and the door moves up in proportion. This thing is actually some kind of strange weight stone, and as it's reduced, its weight, the door counterlifts. Okay, great. We get the door open and we're fast forwarding again. All right, cool. Because we don't want this to take the actual time that it would take, or we're going to be here all night. Which we're probably going to be anyway. What was that? I feel your pain, Janice. What's that? Please hang. What's up, Janice? I can't hear. Baby is asleep. I don't know what that means. Headphones, girl. Put on those headphones. Okay. Woo! Now that's a good time to stop, eat some Doritos, go get a Sprite. You know what I mean? Like, live a little, okay? Relax. Because that is going to fatigue your party. That was going to be a big battle. Now, I know that we ripped right through it, but for a party playing that'd probably be like a 40-minute battle. Okay? And big combat like that can be very fatiguing on the whole group, including the DM. So rest and make sure that you as a person, not just as a player in the dungeon world, are fully energetic and ready to keep going. Because I can feel it right now. Like, whoa, whew. Hank, what do you do if you have a room with a secret trick and a party member rolls a 20 perception when they first walk in? Tell them the trick. You don't want to design your rooms with such a MacGuffin that to know the MacGuffin is there undoes it. So let's say with this room, for example, if he came in, rolled the nat 20 on the perception check, I would say it looks like the big stone in the middle is some kind of counterweight that keeps the stone door at the far end closed. That's it. Or I could say, I could focus the perception elsewhere. And this is why player specificity is so important. If they were looking at the remains, the liquefied remains on the floor, then I would say there is a magically carved arrow of incredible workmanship inside the remains. Like, I just tell them, man. It's all good. If anything, you want to move through this as fast as possible because I still got almost half my board left. Someone else said unlikely, hence no. They're asking the stream will be posted to your channel after the end. Probably, yeah. This one I'll probably go ahead and put up on the channel. I'm bummed about the low resolution because this is a kind of a drawing video, and I really wanted that awesome quality, but you know how the internet is. It's balls. This is why I generally do pre-recorded videos, because I get really good picture. But you know, nothing beats being able to interact with you guys in a semi-live way. You know what I hate about this? You can't say whatever you want. What do you mean by that? Free to share? You can be yourself. You can say whatever you want to say. Okay, so now I'm regathering. I'm regrouping. That was intense. Right now, I would probably give the characters enough time to at least sort of come out of initiative, maybe take a few potions, maybe, you know, huddle for a second and just be like, huh. I wouldn't count it as a rest, but don't just constantly hound them. Not yet. The chase will begin in a moment. Okay? Yeah, you can kind of see what's going on, so you can see good enough. All right, now, here is, you've got your green marker, and it's time. Okay, everybody's got their piece of pizza. We've all kind of talked about, holy shit, man, you were drunk last week. Yeah, that was weird. I'm sorry what I said about your cousin. I didn't mean that. Okay, well, you know, all's forgiven. Let's just play some D&D. Okay, great. So you sit back down. Everybody's ready to play. The stone door raises away. And beyond lies the throat of moss. So the throat of moss is, holy shit, a green marker. Are you crazy, dude? What the fuck? All right. The throat of moss. Here it is. Same routine, you guys. Be a master of dry erase. First line is a little, you know, whatever. Second line, pretty much the same spot. Fill it in. Same thing over here. Just let your hand relax, you know. Just like, you don't have to draw. This isn't drawing. This is just whatever. You got a grid to go by anyways. There's no going wrong when you got a grid, right? All right. So I'm just going to add a few little green blobs because blobs. Some dots here. All right, there's a blob. Okay, then at the end of the throat of moss, we have the rock resumes. Okay, like that. And I will reveal all of that right as they kind of come into here. And that's fine, whatever. The corridor turns to the left. It's a tight, irregular hallway lined with writhing, slimy green kelp. Oh, God. It takes reading real eyes of Bama, like repeating being a dick to others in chat. What is going on, huh? Unlikely, since you're... Is someone weirding out about not being able to say things, but then not... Okay, I don't care, honestly. All right, so we're into the throat of moss. Seems like nothing's really happening in here. It's just your average, you know... hallway lined with writhing kelp. No big deal. Someone goes in and, of course, tries to make a perception check, and I am forced to reveal my hand. Because you can't quite tell where the actual solid wall is, or actually the ceiling. Like, where exactly is the ceiling? And then you look at the floor, and you're not even sure, is there like a foot-thick layer or like a 3-foot-thick layer of moss on this? I can't even tell where the actual walls are. We're going to bump right back up to 18. Remember, I'll always give a little bit of an excuse of why DC is rising and falling. I don't know what's... Oh. Free to share. Get over it. Focus on the D&D. None of that stuff matters. It's all good. You're welcome. You're welcome here. It's all homies up in this piece. We don't talk about the real world anyways because there's plenty of boring time all through the week and everywhere you go where you can talk about that. We're here to dream about fantasy, dream about adventure. Right on? Right on. Thanks, Clumsy Rogue. I appreciate that, man. We're almost to 12K already, and it's only been, about a week and a half. So they're moving through here. The perception checks are not yielding a lot of information. It's just like, I don't know what's going on. Now, this is where you want to make this interesting. I already have in my head that where the elbow is in this joint, that is sort of a trigger spot. There's a squishy spot in the floor. So I hope you guys can see that, but there's sort of this squishy spot in the floor. When you step on that squishy spot, or anywhere within, I'd say, 2 clicks of it, a massive vine shoots up out of the floor and kind of is reinforced by a vine from the ceiling, whips across in a random direction, and that random direction is 1d6 with 1 away from me and counting around. So this time it goes 2. So this thing can't see. So it comes up out of the floor and goes whoosh, like that. But no one is hurt. And they're like, did you just fucking see that? Holy shit. What was that? So, yes, thanks for the reminder on the torch, Chris Marshall. Helm is proudly brandishing the torch. He's like, well, there's no way we're going to jump that far. I'm pretty sure it was triggered by stepping on the ground. So anybody got any ideas? Because that vine looked really gnarly. Like, it had a lot of thorns on it, and like that was intense. Somebody comes up with something. They always do, right? Like they put Stills on Tensor's floating disc or something. They skate him across, and Stills makes it. Hey, that was pretty easy. Okay, who's next? It's Foxy's like, I can do it. So they put him on the disc and get him across. Okay, great. Or her, I should say. No problem. But you can't put being people-sized objects on Tensor's floating disc. Doesn't work that way. So they're just like, well, shit, I don't know. Maybe we should try a grapple hook or some shit. Woo! Goes for the dex check. Oh, nice. 17. Swings across. But there's no room. These guys are blocking up the end of the passage. Lands within distance of the thing, and the vine shoots out again, this time in a random direction. Boy, we got a bad situation developing here. 6. Ooh! So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like right toward 10 o'clock, which is right into the group. This is just like a lightning bolt spell. So it goes in a line, and everybody in that line is going to get hit. Kapow! And since I'm just being easy, another 2d6 damage, which doesn't feel like nearly enough. So we're going to call it 3d6. Oh man, 11 damage to Stills, Foxy, and Helm. Ah, the big vine. Then it slurps back down into the hole. Zymer's like, dear Lord, that's terrifying to someone as old as me. There you go, boys and girls. All right. Holy shit, now what? Oh, that's delicious. There's no more grapple hook. Zymer doesn't have levitation. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? What's he going to do? He spends the time paralyzed. If you guys are running good adventures with your party, you will see that sometimes people aren't even holding their turn. They're actually just petrified with fear and confusion, and they pass their turn. They're just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So it's Helm's turn again. He can't back up because these guys... He's stuffed in and he's still standing in the trigger zone. So the vine comes up again. You see, like, I got him now. I got him. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it whips harmlessly against the wall that time. Woo-wee! I'm too sick to drink. I'm going to drink a beer. Yeah, fuck yeah, you're free. Drink up. Hey, yeah, everybody. Don't act like an old person. Hey-yo. Just drink. Click on my channel to see. Don't come to a video and then invite people to leave, please. The disc is immobile when you're within 20 feet. If you move within 20 feet, the disc follows you until it remains within 20 feet of you. Nice. Thank you, Cyrus, for the clarification. I don't know mage shit. Okay, we come to a point where Helm has to say, you guys just effing move. So Stills and Foxy have to move, and in so doing, they reveal this next chamber. Stumbling out of the throat of moss. Remember, rectangles are your friend, guys. Here's another rectangle. That way, when I do odd geometry, it has more impact. Dry Erase Masterclass 101. All right, here we go. It's more like the 200 series. The 101 is like how to take the cap off. All right, here you go. I'm just going to hit these guys again. I can't help it. It's too fun. So they come into this next chamber. And they have 3 raised islands of terrain that are traversable. And down below, this murk of kelp and horrendous pond water and grotesqueness. If you want to imply a drop-off, just try drawing another line like this. And it kind of shows like a second level of topology. And it's not necessarily the walkable topology, but it helps the mind understand that there's a steep downward slope there. It's a really basic trick. Dry erase, masterclass. Yes. Okay, so the next chamber. The egg sacs. All right, so Stills and Foxy stumble backward into this room and look around. There's this small lake in this cavern with these raised rocky areas. And it's just too dark to see. So without a light source, I'm going to do disadvantage on any perception. And if they do attempt perception, they're going to find themselves sitting on an 18. Right? So they're getting pretty used to 18s right now. Okay. Okay, you guys are out of the way. Thank God. Let me back up. Jesus. Okay, Zymer, do it. You're not too old. Damn it. Okay, Zymer completely botches the dex check. The vine is triggered one more time. What direction does it go? Oh no! It goes that direction. I would say Helm is a little bit out of Helm's way. He's out of Helm's way. Anyways, it manages to hit Zymer. 3d6. Brutal for a mage at 4th level to take 10 damage. Oh, so he takes that hit and finally moves out of range, and they are past the throat of moss. So I just wanted you guys to see how much fun and excitement can be initiated by really all this is if you're standing here, this thing pops out at a random direction, right? If you're standing in that direction. And it can be great because we really needed a break right there. That was a big fight and we needed a break, and the break was just moving through this little piece of space, right? So, yep, coming out of the floor. Exactly. So, holy crap. He's immortal, drank from the fountain of youth and hankering. Oh, okay, you guys must be talking on some crazy shit. Okay, so now they've moved into the egg chamber. As Helm walks in with the torch, he holds it up, and when the light cascades out across this murk, down in the water, several little spheres begin to jiggle as if responding to the light. Also, the light of the torch reveals at the far side there is another stone door. But this one looks just like a sort of a flat piece of shale that's been slid into place. It doesn't have magical markings. It's just a crude, threshold blocker. You know how in like sea caves you find rocks that have blocked the way and stuff. And growing on these outcrops of stone, it's probably better to do it like that. There, that leaves a standable square. And same here, there, are these huge 2-scale mushrooms. These big funguses. And Cyrus Draken will, with a shudder going down his spine, recognize these funguses. But these things are nasty. So now we are faced with another, what you might call puzzle room. But I don't really believe in puzzles per se. And so as they hold up this torch, all these little eggs throughout the water begin to jiggle slightly in response. And down in the depths with the torchlight, another one of these yuan ti swims by through all the egg sacs and begins rising toward the surface. Roll initiative. All right? So we're not going to go into every detail because we got to keep moving here. But this time we have the yuan ti and we've got his crew of egg tenders. So these are not undead, but still living sahagin who don't have any equipment, don't have spears, but they do have these sort of like driftwood sticks that they use to sort and tend to the egg fields. And these guys are going to fight like maniacs because they defend the eggs, the brood. So I would have them sort of fight berserker style. So before your session, if you're doing a dungeon like this, do a little bit of homework on how you can use sort of berserker rage in interesting ways and get that done. And give them, some charge abilities and some, holy shit, wild fighter type abilities. They get into this huge fight. Oh my God. If anybody gets near the mushrooms are simply just confiners. All they do is hold you in position until they're chopped through. But they're like tree trunks to chop these things. These things are crazy, but they are sensitive to cold. Or do whatever. If you want mind control spores, whatever. But it's a good time to play your mushroom card. If they get in the water and start popping eggs, then you've got the tadpoles, and the tadpoles like get on you and drink your blood and suck you like leeches. And holy shit, this is a mess. You can make whatever you want of this room. It's going to be great. All you need to do is get across, get onto this piece of land, bust through this stone doorway. Okay, so you kill a couple guys. Great. There's no spawner. All right, yeah, he winds up dead. These guys wind up over here because they're the nimble characters. And then Yuan Ti is out here. Holy shit, he casts Witch Bolt. Or some cool spell, I don't know about, Wall of Force or some shit. Helm just wades through the eggs, squishing a bunch of eggs, driving the Yuan Ti completely insane. They get into some kind of weird exchange. The Yuan Ti casts the gaze of Frack, petrifies poor Helm, fighting over here with Zymer, gets eventually eliminated. Zymer dispels magic, fixes up the petrification. Good job. Okay, great. They smash through the door. Woo! All right, cool. So you can make a lot out of that room. In the process, the torch actually falls into the murk and is doused. Oh, that's so sad. Everybody loves cool torches. There you go. So that can be a really big room, and that's going to take a long time. That room could easily be an hour. Peace out, bung wires. Get that work done, son. All right. So now we are at what the PCs totally know right now is the final chamber. So let's get some stuff. A little bit of scatter goes a long way when you're working with dry erase, right? So you just kind of need a single piece of scatter. Or, I don't even know if I do, actually. I just need Garrett Frack. Where's old Garrett Frack? I'm pretty sure we were using the red mage as Garrett Frack. It's where the red mage is used for everything. And we need one more torch. One more torch is needed. There we go. Okay, I'm going to come over here and get this done. And here's where drawing all those rectangles really pays off. Because you finally get to draw a circle. And it really feels like it matters. Okay. Draw the circle first, and then if you want to modify the circle, do it afterwards because you get a nice circle form that way when you draw a continuous shape. And put these little grottos in here. Okay, now, dry erase 101, right? Draw it twice, fill in the gaps. That really is the fundamental lesson of the dungeon tonight. Draw it twice, fill in the gaps. That's how you pretend like you know what you're doing. All right, there we go. Darken that in. Hey, cool, man. Little lines in here implying some shading or whatever the hell they're implying. I don't know. And then we have like a sort of a raised area. Now remember your teachings for raised area, right? Draw your nice hefty line. And then draw a secondary line. It's a little lighter and kind of goes like that. And then let's maybe do some little stairs. Remember when drawing stairs, as you descend in line width, it implies downward. Classic old tactic of D&D map makers. That's right, drink up, my babies. My little babies, drink up. Okay, and here we have Garrett Frack in proper fashion. Alright, being presented as an evil mage. And then finally, we'll just use a couple little doodads that I have in these little grottos. Okay. Cyrus, not a word out of you for those little doodads. Okay. Wet erase is okay, but I agree with not a doge. It's actually you almost get nothing out of it except the difficulty of erasure. And they actually tend to put out less ink from what I've experienced. Okay, so the players come through. Great. For extra flavor, here you go. Back to dry erase masterclass. Put a little practice into being able to do etchings or magical runes or magical writing. It can add a lot to a room and it'll add a lot to map making. And all it is a simple little glyphic language that you make up. But it just makes the things seem like, oh snap. You know, practice being able to quickly improvise, you know, one of these guys. It's not really a pentagram. It's a sort of a diabolical pentagram. You know, and it just kind of gives the room some tone. Okay, cool. Woo! Alright, so we go in and Garrett Frack must be battled. Garrett Frack is a level 7 magic user. He can freaking clone himself. He can do concussive blast. He can do, I don't know, definitely fireball, probably flaming sphere. He could probably do something like tiny hut. Mage armor, spectral weapon, all kinds of shit. All right, just here's your chance to unleash your lich mixing. Mixing is what you just said, not a doge. You made my brain short circuit. Use your lich, your high-powered mage battle that you've been waiting to do. This is really where it's DM versus players. Can you as a DM really play a mage or a complicated character with enough depth and strategy and deception and trickery that you can actually take on 4 people head to head and make it fascinating? Great, here they go. Ooh, what are in these grottos? Perception check. Oh, look at that. No one else can figure it out. I don't know what that thing is, but Zymer, he's old. Oh, God. He can get in there with an investigation. Or arcane knowledge, whatever. And these are actually these ancient rotten sahagin skulls, which Garrett Frack has harnessed to start to control and resurrect the sahagin. And he's starting to merge humanity into the sahagin. He's bringing the power of the dead swamp into the world. So the fight continues. Every round, I want you to heal Garrett Frack for 20 HP. Every round. Yeah, pretty hardcore, right? Well, it's time to get hardcore because it's the end of the match. It's the end of the map. It's the end of the dungeon. All right, give me that. There we go. Hang on a second. Bear with me. Hang in there, buddy. Hang on. Hang on, Jimmy. There we go. Okay. Let's get a little bit more normal, can we? Let's get a little more normal and finish what we're here to drink. Okay. I know how to do it. Here, I'll give you, before we get to that, let's get a nice view here of your final scene. So, what I want you to do if you're running this adventure is regenerate Garrett Frack for 20 hit points per freaking round. This is gnarly. This is basically almost unbeatable because at this level, these players aren't able to really churn out so much damage that they can overcome that kind of regeneration. But here's where you're going to pay off, and this is where the final bullet list or bullet point in your DM's journal is going to come into play, which is until the undead sahagin skulls have been destroyed, Garrett Frack is going to regenerate 20 hit points per turn. So if you destroy this skull right here, right, then he's only going to regenerate 10 per turn. Then you destroy this skull, his regeneration is disabled, and you can fight him, and it's still going to be hard. You come in, get it done, whoopity-doo. Maybe he casts something crazy on this thing, he teleports to it at some point. plan something cool there. Maybe that heals him a little bit. Damn this bugger, stop it. Then maybe he has the ability to summon 2 of these guys just to mix things up. Maybe he has banish. He can pop somebody out of the battle for a few rounds, bring him back. Okay, great. Let's just fast forward through it and presume that they beat him because, PCs tend to beat people all the time. When they do, final step, they find a secret exit hidden here. And there's a super narrow spiraling staircase that goes back up to the surface of the swamp. And at that location, they find where Garrett has been marshaling his forces. And they can either take those forces on sort of in the distance, or they can skulk out of the swamp knowing that they have defeated the supreme evil. Okay? So there you go, guys. And now I'm going to kind of whoop. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Whew! Okay, there you go. That was the Dry Erase Masterclass for the Swamp of the Croaking Dead. And the message that I wanted to send was, I don't know, a few things. Let me just, hold on a second. Stay with me. Stay with me, all 99 of you awesome people. All right, there you go. I don't know if I have any way of... This could make a handsome display. The thing is that you won't put it on display. You're just going to erase it and do another one next week. Okay, we're just going to... There you go. Whew. All right. Now let's get down to the real business. Just having a little drink together, talking about some shit. So I'm not going to type into the channel because that's ridiculous, but I think I can see it from here. Get that D&D roleplay relies on becoming character and people will be... Yeah, so there you go. I'd much rather watch a clean recap. I would like to see some of the pigs and their thoughts. I'd love to see the session with Hank, but I totally get why and how it could be make shit weird. Yeah, man. Hey, Ice Spliced. Haven't seen you around in a while. It's good to have you. It's not so much that it makes it weird, but it's just that I'm seeing this trend happening, and I don't want to be part of the trend of turning D&D into entertainment. D&D is something very special that should be shared between friends, and a lot of things that become entertainment get ruined because they get over consumed and overblown and over glamorized, and it actually the people who are really doing it become disillusioned, and I don't want that to happen. I don't like that stuff. I want to keep it legit. I want to keep it real. And I don't want to turn it into a friggin' show. So this is the show right here. The real D&D I reserve as a private thing that we get to do together as friends and be ourselves and not worry about it being recorded. Another thing about doing these videos is like, this goes into the archives of mankind. So you can't get to, you gotta, whoa, yeah, it's heavy. Makes me feel old. Hey, from Mexico. Hola, buenas, amigo. Bienvenidos a Dragons and Barachos. Wait, it's Barachos and Dragones. Good to have you, man. We got that's a great thing. I wanted to do a video on it, and I'm just not sure I have the heart for it, but I wanted to actually read some of the viewer mail that I get. Because you guys wouldn't believe this stuff. It's just like, there's so many people out there who are brand new to dungeon mastering who send me great messages about, like, I wasn't sure I could do it, and, I didn't, my group needed a DM, and because of the videos, I finally, got inspired, and I brought the heat down, and we had a great session, and it was fun, and thank you. And then be like, we're in Siberia, we're playing D&D. I was like, hell yeah. And then, like, all over the world. And all this crap that you see on TV about us being a world of nations and that we're divided and we're all working against each other and all this, it's all bullshit. Everybody on this planet just wants to be loved, and the people that are involved in messed up shit are in the vast, vast minority. The human race is a good race, and we're good people and friendly, and you can count on people, and you can look for their help if you need it, and look for their friendship, and you will get that fucking friendship. So don't believe the hype. Be positive. Believe in each other, and good things will happen. I wish I could draw. Josh, dude, this is one of the messages I really want to hit home with everybody, is that no one can draw, man. I cannot draw. When I started, I was trying to draw TMNT when I was a kid, and it was just total shit. I have no ability. I just have practice. And that's what I invite you to do, is get started on the practice. And that means draw things twice and fill in the little gaps in the lines. That is where it all begins. I don't believe in a lot of these methods with construction lines and drawing spheres and all this shit. I think it's too hard. But I do believe in just using a pen and embracing what happens. Let your hand be wiggly and just let your style be your style. It's okay. There's no right way to draw. But you got to practice if you want it to get cooler. So make it cooler. Hey, what shirts do you have? Oh wait, come on, Zay. I don't even know what other conversations are going on here. Have you seen the Kickstarter for Sandy Peterson's Cthulhu Monsters for Pathfinder? No, but that sounds absolutely fantastic. Pathfinder stats are really easy to convert, meaning don't convert them. You just shove them into 5th edition, and they work. If people really do believe that they are fine-tuning the difficulty of their campaign based on recommended mathematical magic, they are deluding themselves. Whoa, what do we got here? Josh, from my meager experience, players appreciate the simple things I've drawn and put together. They recognize effort above all. Amen to that, Andrew Clope. Woo! Man, that is wisdom talking right there. It's not who's doing what better. It's that you're doing anything, man. It's that you're trying it all. I had an unfair, preconceived notion about D&D was like. Didn't want to play. Saw one of Hank's videos. Notions changed mine instantly, and now it's take the whole darn life. Pilly pal. Pilly pal, you're way past the point where you need to be writing down shit like that, man. Everybody knows that y'all crazy over there. Your family must think you just went right off the deep end with this. You're in there like, welcome to the town gate, telling yourself like, damn, I'm good. Just like, where's Dad? Dude, you are blowing our minds. If you guys haven't checked out Black Magic Craft, get over there. He is the master of miniature artwork, just on levels that can't even play with. He has got that precision down pat, and he knows his materials, and that's all it takes. But, even if you can't do what he can do, which I can't, it's really fun to see how his table must unfold, and the feelings around his table must be just a hoot. And just knowing that D&D can be a hoot like that, I think is the root of being excited about the hobby. Thanks in no small part to Hank. Took a Facebook group, DMs, and running the same adventure path. Better players and bounce some ideas people for my game. Scott McDonald, hell yeah. Man, back in the day, you didn't have Facebook to run interim stuff for D&D. And sometimes the interim stuff can get a little crazy. Like it's hard to understand social nuance when you're using the internet. But damn, back in the day, man, there was nothing. Like I played a play-by-email Conan Hyperborea game when I was in 6th grade. It took 2 years for us to walk down a road to get to the woods. It was insane, but it was really cool. We did fight these ape men. That was pretty sweet. What do you drink as you DM? Yeah, you got to keep it under control. Come on, Zay. You'll know when it's going to be a session that it's going to be okay to just let it fly wild. And then there are other sessions that are more mechanically demanding or more important to your story. And then you just got to keep your shit together a little bit. So don't drink the whiskey, drink the Coors, But, you always need something to drink to keep your whistle going. And just, it's fun. There are a few things as fun in this life as sitting down at a table with your friends and just having a drink. It's great. It's a sublime pleasure. Is Hello Programs a Tron reference? Greetings Programs. Yes, it is. From the very end of the film when they return to the real world and he continues to use that phrase. I've been saying it ever since. It's just always been a part of my thing. I never meant it to be like a gag on the channel. It was just literally how I greet people. Glenn Cook, Black Company. No, I don't know anything about that. I'm working my way through a million books people are advising to me. I'm trying. Show them Hank vids. Oh, Black Company is the best. Yeah, cool. I was trying to work through some Joe Abercrombie books right now, and I got a little disillusioned with that. I didn't really like his writing style that much. I can see how people love it, though. It's really gritty. And then I read through Simbaroom and had a good time with that. And now I'm getting ready to dig back into Rapana Thuk. Because I actually think that Moloch is, the whole thing is just a sort of a sidecar or an entrance to the Dungeon of Graves, which is Rapana Thuk. And so I'm doing Moloch on the channel, as you guys know, along with the Tabletop Terrors guys. We're going to keep working through Moloch. And then really that's just a preamble to running Rapana Thuk. I think Bungwires and Gruber might be running Rapana Thuk as well. But holy shit, if you guys don't have that book, I mean, talk about a book that's thick with encounter design and not fluff. It is absolutely incredible. Just hundreds of encounters that have inspiring mechanics, great monster sets, great thematics, great skill checks, all built into nice little tiny encounters. And you know, you don't even have to run them as they're made. It's just having them up here is the magic, you know. Woo. Dude, you got to read that shit. Being able to drink is one of the perks of hosting your game. Well, hell yeah, Scott. Any chance of more required reading videos? Yeah, actually, I have a stack right there for the next one. So that is coming. But life is dense with stuff to do. There's friends, there's family, there's work, and there is other projects happening. Derek Cutsinger is doing an awesome project called Holmgang, the Duel of Vikings, and I've been doing some work for that. We also have a great Kickstarter with Imbalanced Games coming out early next year, probably in January, called Dwarves, which is a really fun little simple dice game that involves a lot of yelling and stupidity that's fantastic. So check that out. And then, you know, I'm about a third of the way through Runehammer Book 3. Book 2 is in proofreading right now, so you guys are going to have more Runehammer novels coming at you real soon. So it's like the crazy fountain just keeps going. So videos, one a week or so, I think is even pretty awesome. So I'm just keep doing that. I have a new streaming channel coming out on Twitch pretty soon, which is not D&D related, called The Angry Ostrich, and I'll be sure to hook you guys into that because it's gonna be crazy, and you'll see what that's all about. It's a whole nother. The holidays are swiftly arriving, man. It's time for all those cool RPG Christmas presents. Starting Robert Jordan, Wheel of Time. Oh my God! John Hart, you are in for a treat, man. Those books are the bomb. You should put an Amazon referral link when you do required readings. You choose big. Yeah. Michael, you're totally right. I'm awful about that stuff. I just don't do a lot of the homework part. I do the excitement part, and then I wander off and go to sleep because I'm old. Right? That fire, son. Bring that heat down. Damn, you pouring more, fool? Stupidity is the cornerstone of civilization. Man. What was the great saying? All of life has been created with only one tool, the mistake. I love that line from Westworld. Absolutely fantastic line. Well, it's 10 p.m. Got to hit the sack soon. Ice Splice, man, me too. We have been on the stream here for about 90 minutes. We do, I think, 2 hours, and then I start to just kind of wander off and say insulting things, and then I wonder why the hell am I doing this live stream. John Hart, yeah, man, Wheel of Time, dear Lord. Not Edoge. Hanks, what is your standing opinion on homebrewing? My style of DM is heavily homebrew based on what I like to know, wisdom. Dude, I am so hardcore into homebrew that, you know, people, when they hear that I have a D&D YouTube channel, will always try to get me with some kind of little gotcha factoid that they have. Like, ooh, what's the bonus for a 14 wisdom or whatever? Or what was the great one that hit me the other day? Or like, do you know about Strength 100 or 18-100 or whatever? I don't know. Back in second edition days, like if you had a stat 18, you could also have a D100 on top of it for different bonus. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know shit about anything. But I know how to make a really fun tabletop game. So I'm homebrew to the maximum. I'm so homebrew I don't even have patience to actually learn what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. I know that there are DMs out there who are like brilliant and actually know the game and actually play it as it's designed, and I'm sure there are dividends there, but not for me. Oh, it's the only way to play your game. Oh, whoop-doo. Yeah, Westworld is really cool. It does a lot of justice to the movie, and I love the movie. I love Yul Brynner. Everything he does is solid gold. Hi from Olympia. Hey, dude. Oh, Metal Panzerwolf. Whoa, is that like a cool... I love that old game, Panzer Tanks or Panzer Commander. What was it called? Anyway, Olympia. Hey, I was just down there last weekend for Thanksgiving. I love your show. It had a big impact on my game. Hey, thank you very much. Keep it real down in Olympia, man. I love that town. That's where I get all my tattoos. Is in that Oli. Get those O-stees going. I go down to the fish brewery. Get those beers, eat some salmon, and then I go get tattoos. So I like that Oli. I've been homebrewing since I started. Hey, Matt Bernomricon, that's L.A. Jackson up in the piece. What up, dude? Nice to see you. Recently finished the Thomas Covenant. I don't know what that is. It sounds awesome. I want to read that. I'm back, but he didn't make it. Damn. I hate moderators. Dude, free to share. Get over it, man. Participate in the present conversation, not some imaginary one where you're being banned, because you're not. It's all good. I was in the Armor Corps. Whoa. What's your favorite die set? Oh, dude, cool question. Kamanze. Actually, my backpack is in the other room with my die in it, but I am a huge fan of the Q Workshop Dwarven dice set. So if you Google on Amazon, do Q Workshop Dwarf dice, you'll see those are my favorites. Also, any of the zinc magnesium dice I really, really like. They just roll heavy. They have really sharp corners, which I love, and they just are easy to read. This is something where Cyrus Draken, he just got these great dice, which are metal. They're black with white letters, and they're super easy to read, and it's all about easy to read, man. Fancy dice are cool, but hard to read dice slow the entire game down, and no one wants to wait while you try to figure out if that's a 3 or an 8. So Cyrus, if you want to holler about those dope dice that you got, everybody should get those. Even Gary said the rules are a guide, not an absolute. Just let the game flow and have fun. Yeah, man. And, you know, some nights are bonkers. And this is a huge piece of advice I want to send out to DMs is like, don't ever confuse what you think is going to happen with what the game is. What you think is going to happen is only a useful tool for creating opportunities for players to tell you what's happening. Follow the yes or roll rule. Never tell people no. Tell them yes, what you want is happening, or roll to get it to happen. But never tell them no. And let them foobar the shit out of your plans. They will ruin all your cool DM plans, and let them do it, because that's what's fun. At the end of our 2-year campaign, there's no better case of an example of someone ruining a gigantic, awesome plan that I had. I had the hugest boss fight I've ever designed ready to go. It took me a month to really figure it out and to make it a proper conclusion. And the players, being as awesome as they are, they storied their way into a completely different version of things that became one of the most hilarious player arguments I've probably ever heard. So I go in the other room to take a pee, well, the bathroom, and I can hear them back at the table just going nuts, just all arguing with each other with no DM present, and that's when you know you got a really good game on your hands, is that the stakes that the players feel for their characters are tangible and there, and they're not going to compromise. And that was a hilarious night. That was just a huge, huge night. It was really funny. It was supposed to be 2 or more nights, but it compressed into one night of total insanity. Really, really fun ending to a awesome, I don't know, a trundling through the world. It was fantastic. Yeah, hey, cool. There's some links coming up. Great. Get that shit. I've made some strong liquor. It cost me more to make than to buy. You know, a cheap one to do is to do the Icelandic vodka and then throw in the habaneros. It's outstanding. I know it sounds like it's going to be some kind of stunt, like you're going to get sick, but no, it's actually delicious. Homebrew D&D, World's Mechanic Rules, not making homebrew booze. Thank you, Pilly Pal. Remember, this is a Dungeons & Dragons themed stream. We got about 10 minutes left, guys. Dwarf Fortress Comics. Oh, man. Yeah. Ooh, that Table Titans book. I just backed that on Kickstarter. That's going to be awesome, speaking of cool books like that. Yeah, Pilly Pal always brings down the beard humor. That fool nuts, man. So I don't even know where Winnipeg is. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in the Arctic Circle. But I had a dream of, like, getting on my hog and riding out there. And, dude, we should meet up. We should meet up and get a cheeseburger. And then I got to head home because it's going to take me like 5 days to get there. But I'm not going to get on a plane like a pansy. No, that's not going to happen. LOL, though. Earlier I did mention making a homebrew cider. Ooh, yeah. Cider's good, but, man, apples. Ooh. Michael Moorcock and his various multiverse heroes. Eric, yep, still talking about awesome books. I have 20 liters fermenting. Dude, dear God, man. All streams are alcohol flavored with you guys. Just don't cross them. So that's about it, guys. I hope you had fun. I know that the initial mission was like a dry erase sort of masterclass, but it almost turned into a bit of a dungeon session. So what I like to call was single player D&D. And you know, I think there are probably some who consider certain things to be a core part of the hobby and certain things not to, but I don't think that way. I think that D&D is just as much about liking to sit around and draw maps or write stories or come up with characters or imagine game mechanics as it is sitting down with your players and actually playing the conventional, game of D&D. The whole thing is the hobby. It doesn't have to be what it's supposed to be or what people expect it to be. If you're enthusiastic about dreaming about adventure and you like to do it with a mechanical component to it, that's tabletop gaming right there. I love drawing maps. I use probably a third of the maps that I draw in actual games. But I still really enjoy just drawing the maps to understand space, to think about architecture, to think about fun mechanics, to tell myself my own little stories. I mean, this is art. This is a hobby obsession when you just do it because you enjoy the doing, not the results. And I think that's what's fun about doing some of these sessions on ye old internet, is that we don't fully get to interact. Like, you guys didn't get to play that dungeon. But as enthusiasts who are just excited about derivations, it's pretty cool content, I feel like. D&D has got an outlet for my ADD. Oh my God, Chris Marshall, I am the ADD poster child. I had huge problems with it when I was a kid. I still have problems with it. It causes me to switch careers every 2 years. But it also is the sign of a highly active and hungry mind. And if you can harness that desire and that passion and put it into things, ADD is just another word for you are fucking awesome. So just harness the power and the hunger of your brain to do things. Give yourself at least 2 things to be fascinated with at any given time so you can jump between them. Harness the power, man. Know your own ADD. Know your own so-called disorders. It's not a disorder. It's just having an active brain. People with active brains are considered nuisances in parts of our society nowadays. But that is a vast minority. All the cool people know that kids with ADD and adults with ADD are just active-brained people, and they love them. And they get along with them fine. It's all the weird, hyperbolic minority that wants you to think there's some kind of fucking disorder to worry about. Everything was great. Canuskatan Mount. Everything is great. Now, see? Asshole. This guy's strange. Thanks for all the knowledge and ideas, Hankerin. Time for bed. Yeah, it is just about 10:30, guys. I'm pooped myself. Whoo, lordy lord. Advanced Dungeons and Drunken and Dragons. Yeah, right. I don't know if Drunken and Dragons ever gets advanced. We're always in the basic category. And I can't afford a college. My mom won't let me while I'm living with her, and I get that. Yeah, get the fuck out of there, man. Move out of your parents' house. Go to college. Get it done. Cook bacon if you have to, but pay for that college. College education is important and meaningful. There's so much awesome shit to learn, and you learn more of it when you're actively going to school. Get it done. Go for it. I got your back. I will support you with moral, randomness on the internet. Have you ever made your own mead? No, dude, I got enough shit going on. I don't do anything except the things that you guys pretty much know that I do. I don't know how my wife puts up with me, but my life is projects. The rest is either like resting from doing projects, drinking with those I love, or getting outdoors every once in a while. That's it. I don't need any more projects. Hey, free to share, man. Get over it. Go to another stream or something. Like, I do not understand your weird thing that you're doing. That's bizarre. Hank, what bike do you ride? Yo, T. Drew. I have a, what is it? I have a 2015, well, the one I'm riding right now is a 2015 Harley 48. It's a Sportster 1200. Yeah, super dope. It's really cool. I've ridden a lot of Hondas in the past and other stuff, but man, I love this Harley. It's just awesome. Cyrus has an awesome Harley. He's really the one who lit the fire under my butt. Got me to come out the shadows and get that hog. Love that thing. Hey, somebody kick this guy. Somebody give him the moderator he wants to hate. Yep, prove him right. Funny thing about pessimists, they're always right. And you can see as much into that as you really want to. People who say that bad things are going to happen, bad things always happen. Sell yourself in the military, get the funds for college. Yeah, sure, man. Nothing wrong with the military. Fuck yeah, get it done. Whatever it takes. Hank, favorite module of all time. Oh man, probably Adventure Under the Earth. Is that what it's called? Or OG Ravenloft was also absolutely fantastic. Or geez, the Undercity. Man, I don't know. That's a tough one, dude. There was also one of the introductory modules in Rifts that was really a blast that we had a blast with. Can't remember what it was called. It was one of the leyline modules, and it was so fun. Best Rapan Athuk map. Bungwires. Dude, come on. You seriously going to put that on me? I actually think the Black Temple is one of the best parts. It's the backdoor entrance to Dungeon of Graves. I really liked how they did that. I think it's like map set 15 or something like that, but I loved it. It's the one where the chute goes down into the thing. It's really cool. Yeah, man, the original Ravenloft was absolutely fantastic. I had a great DM back in those days, and holy crap. We actually played Ravenloft in Fantasy Hero, if you can believe that. So he converted Ravenloft into Fantasy Hero, and I had a great character with a cursed sword, and man, we had a blast. Those were great days. Best Rapan is the area under the well. Yeah, man, it's awesome. There's so many gems, though, in Rapana Thuk. The under the well area is just one of the more sort of, punctuated areas, but like the bloodways are really awesome. The salamander part is awesome. Just some of the trap sequences that they do are so harrowing. It's just fantastic. Oh, hey, Hank, I just finished writing my own novel. Damn, dude. Well, put up a freaking link to Amazon, yo. Or did you just finish the writing phase? So you got to get proofread, you got to put it together, and you got to publish that shit. So get it done, man. That's great. Well done, sir. Good for you. Yeah, I don't know. Either ignore or somebody ban the guy. I don't know. Is he even worth banning? Next live stream, Augustus. I refuse to plan these. I really liked how I did this one, which was just kind of like, hey man, I kind of feel like maybe I got a free night and let's kick it. And that's how it's going to be. I mean, it's great to have still 89 of you guys hanging out to the bitter end. It's 10:30. Thanks everybody for coming. Awesome to have 100 people show up and kick it for the stream. I'll leave this one up on the channel because, it stayed pretty chill, and it's had a really good dungeon in it. So, everybody can see the view. But nobody gets to see the chat line. That is reserved only for the people who show up. So thank you guys for coming in. It's really good to have you. Free to share. Shut the fuck up and get off the stream. Really good to have all you guys. Totally awesome. I think we have a troll, so this channel has officially arrived on the internet. I don't know. no promises what comes next. Who knows? Life is an adventure, and I want it to stay that way. So, strength, honor, mead, dry erase. Man, love it. I know I do 3D terrain all the time, but dry erase mats can be just as dope. They can be fantastic, and that is what my DM is reminding me right now. So I wanted to have a little fun with it. Thanks for showing up, everybody. I'm going to get the fuck out. Peace. There's a million people that I could thank for coming, but I'm not gonna. Because it's time to go. There's just a million of you. Thanks everybody for showing up for the stream. It's awesome. We are all going to cross paths here pretty soon. I can feel it. I can feel it in the air. The 2017 is going to be insane. And somehow we're going to gather. Mark my words. Later, Joe, Darkblade, Bung Wires, Ground Beef, Pilly Pow, Cyrus, I Sliced, all you guys, Kungzu, T. Drew, and Aaron Nelms, and all you mofos, crazy lumpy heads. I'm out of here. Hanker and Fernail signing off. Thanks for chilling, guys. See you next time. Boy. I say mango, you say papaya. I say papaya, you say mango. I got myself almost 12,000 subscribers. And we all gonna hang out, yo.